So at 7 o'clock, I'll open the zoning board of appeals for Thursday, March 12th, 2026. Welcome, everyone. Hopefully those online as well. So, just have, one variance application on the agenda. Before we do that, first item is the approval of the October 23rd, 2025 minutes. Has everyone had a chance to review those minutes? Do we have any changes or modifications or
No,
none?
motion to accept.
All right, there's a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor of the minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, that is carried. So then the Gen 40 area variance, can I get a motion to, I guess, first and foremost, I'll read the overview of it. It's Richard Gianforte, 55 Harloff Road, seeking approval to construct a 40-foot by 24-foot detached garage in front of the primary residence on the property located at 55 Harloff Road, consisting of 13.11 acres. Property location requires a relief from Chapter 268C10 of the Town Code, which prohibits accessory structures in the front yard. Therefore, requires an area variance. So has everyone had a chance to visit the property and familiarize themselves with the request?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll motion open.
Second.
All right, all in favor to open the public hearing?
Aye.
Aye.
You guys want to come on up? And I'll waive the overall reading, and I read it anyways, but we don't really need to go the full detail because it was published in the Sentinel, so. So I guess, just by question, just if you can give us an overview of what you're looking to achieve. I know we spoke about it over the weekend, and, just want to make sure that for everyone's benefit, we go through that.
I'm Stu Chase
Stu.
and I am their architect.
Okay.
This is Julie Gianforte. Rich is out of town. They would like to construct a garage on the property. But if you get a chance to take a look at the site plan that was in your package, we are bounded by a lot of constraints. We have wetlands in the back that we cannot encroach on. We have contours of topography in the front of the property and trying to keep the garage within the reasonable proximity of the house locates it pretty much where we've got it shown. Our setback is still 21 foot from the side, so we're not encroaching on the side setback. We're well over 200 feet to the road. The house itself sits as close as far as 250 feet from the road. So we're not encroaching on any setbacks. We're not encroaching on any lot coverage. It is simply the fact that we're locating the structure in the front. I included in your package some pictures of some neighboring properties that have had accessory structures located in their front yards. So there is some precedent in the neighborhood for that. With all due respect to those properties, it is our intention to do a more aesthetic, better job in detailing this building. We're going to be matching existing materials, existing colors, roof lines, and so on, so that it looks like it belonged and it's been there from day one. Glad to take any questions.
Well, thank you for the overview, for sure. I guess I'll open it up to the rest of the board members, and you guys want to go ahead and ask away.
Sure, so I understand there's some wetlands there, but I guess theoretically where the house is located, that's not an obstacle, right? I mean, from where you want to put the structure.
The wetlands are in the back.
Correct,
We're in
but
front.
that's nowhere near where you want to build this thing, so that's not really an issue.
Well, but I couldn't locate this in the back because then we would be locating in that.
On the buffer, there's a buffer zone.
How far, that's where I'm asking,
Where-
where's the buffer?
There is an E-Pod that probably takes us up at least halfway up to the house. And we've got some contour issues along here. there would be a lot of tree line and so on that we would end up clearing out to get a driveway back there. It's just not practical to put it back there.
So it's not practical to put it to the opposite side.
To put it over here,
Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm looking upside down here. That's. Yeah, put it.
there's a lot of topography there. We're gonna end up climbing to get up there to do that.
Okay.
This just seemed to be a better location overall for it. And again, given that there's precedent in the neighborhood, we didn't anticipate that it was that big a problem.
I mean, someone's suggesting the problem,
Yeah.
I'm just, our job is to ask all these questions, but just trying to figure out why, what would be the obstacles of putting it to the left there. Or depending on the direction, where I'm pointing right there.
When we visited, you were nice enough to let us, Chris and I, out to look over things. Just to remind us where your well and septic comes out of the house, septic tank, septic system.
Mhm.
So I think that's relevant. I think
The
where you were
septic
asking
is
about.
right here.
Where the proposed driveway would have been that you were referencing.
Yeah, that's
John,
where your
right? It would have
septic
run-
Right.
right, septic.
Yeah, well, that's.
Yeah.
And water line
Right.
and stuff. I think we had also chatted over the weekend about that, but the. You answered it just now, so thank you. I just want to make sure we all are on the same page. I had talked about it, a location up here closer to the road, which is still the same variance, the same, but it was,
It's
you had mentioned it was
good
much,
distance away.
a
from the
good
house.
distance away, so I just want to make sure that we were all had the same information and sharing, but, so, thank you. Oh, yeah.
What proposed utilities do you have for the garage?
There will obviously be electric. There may be water, and sewer. We're anticipating possibly needing a sink in this, but we're not sure at that point, but it would be minor.
Um, when you're talking about you talked about the aesthetics, the look feel matching. Is it we'll call it like from the roofing perspective, their house is unique in that design where you have
Contemporary look.
contemporary look. It is the same match for that same
We're
look
looking to
style.
try and do that. We're not looking at trying to put up a pole barn.
Sure.
Or something simple like that. Yeah, we want to try and match the house.
We'll match the house in color, but it's not gonna be, it's gonna look like it's not gonna be contemporary like that. It's gonna have
There will
three
be a
bay.
bonus room up above this.
Okay.
So it's not just a one-story structure, so it will be a two-story structure within the confines of zoning. So the roof line does come into play in that sense.
Okay.
But materials, that's a natural wood siding that's on there. We're gonna be matching that. We're not putting vinyl or something inexpensive on. Trim roofing wise, yeah.
Okay.
Intentions to match.
Thank you.
It'll probably be hardy board on the outside with wood garage doors. It'll look the same color, same color scheme. Probably has some stone in the front with 3 wood garage doors.
And you mentioned the bonus room, so I think it's represented here as a garage, but really it's more a multi-function building.
Well, we're taking advantage of the roof line, the fact that we've got the depth and we're gonna have reasonably high walls for each one-story structure. You're gonna have room for a bonus room up above instead of just putting roof trusses up there. So I wouldn't call it multi-purpose in that sense of the word, that other things are gonna be happening along that line. It's just
Besides electricity, any other utilities, water or sewer?
water and sewer, possibly for a sink. That's the only thought at this point.
What's roughly the maximum?
It's 24, 12. 6, 8, I'm gonna guess 25 foot. Which is certainly less than what the house is now.
Any questions?
Feel pretty good.
Paul, do you have any questions? You guys have any questions? No. Thanks. Brooke, do we have any comment online? Okay. All
Just
right.
got a quick one. Roof pitch? What are you planning for that?
It's gonna match what's there. Just looking at this now, I'm gonna guess that it's between a 6 and an 8 and 12. It's not gonna be a 12-12, because it wouldn't match, and it's not a flat 4 and 12.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna say it's 6 or 8, whatever we have there now.
I think we referenced it also. You've spoken to the neighbor to the south, correct
The
on that?
Kellogg's,
Kellogg's, but you hadn't had any conversation with the folks on the north side?
no,
Um. I think the ones on the north side also have an accessory structure in the front,
They have
multiple,
two,
they have
yes,
two,
two.
so. Okay. Any other questions, folks? All right. Well, thank you very much. You're welcome to stay, and we're gonna just talk here and determine next steps on it. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Right, do we want to keep the public hearing open tonight or close it? And we want to close it, do we want to then take action tonight? Question I'll raise the rest of the board members.
Take action.
Person says, Jeff's saying close. Anyone?
Second.
All right, well, so I guess we have a motion to close the public hearing. We have a second to close it. All in favor to close the public hearing? Aye. Any opposed? All right. All right, so to then go for next steps with that. Do we have anyone that would like to make a motion to approve or deny the area variance? As we've discussed and had presented to us today?
Motion to approve.
Okay, so we have a motion approved. Do we have a second for that?
Second.
Okay. All right, so Dave. So, so what we'll do is we'll go through the a draft determination, and then at the second half of that determination draft, we can go through the 5 questions for their determination. I ask for those 5 with the rest of the board, if you can, when you determine if it can or cannot, or if is or is not, will not, provides some context and reasoning behind that. And then the last part we can talk about is if there is any condition. So I'll start with that. Cool. So were there changes or?
No, I just
Okay.
forgot to print it and I want them to.
Gotcha.
see it.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I just want to make sure. All right. So then we have Jeffrey Johnson move, second by David McInnes, that the area variance requested by Richard Gianforte Jr. for property located at 55 Harloff Road, tax ID number 217.03-1-14, zone RA-1, to allow an accessory structure 40 by 24 foot garage to be constructed in the front yard of the principal structure as depicted in the application documents. At this point, the motion is to be granted based on the following. Where section 260-8C10 prohibits accessory structures from being located in the front yard, and whereas the above property owner appeared before the zoning board of appeals public hearing on the application of March 12th, 2026, and whereas the application was sent to the ZBA attorney and the town code enforcement officer for review. Whereas this application was sent to Monroe County Planning Board for review pursuant to General Municipal Law 239-M, and the application was returned as a local matter with comments. And whereas the ZBA held a public hearing, public was given the opportunity to comment on the application. There was none. Now therefore be it resolved that this application constitutes a type 2 action under SECRA and no further environmental review is required. And be it further resolved that the ZBA has weighed the effects of the requested variance against the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood and community, and hereby the motion is grants the requested variance based on the following findings. So the requested benefit can or cannot be achieved by other feasible means.
I would say cannot. Based
Any
on
reason?
wetlands, in the back, buffer zone, topography. Utilities on the south side, I believe is the house there. Septic and well,
Yes, Vince, Dan, or David, Jeff. Yeah, Paul, David, Vince, any other things that you guys want to add on those ones?
No, I think Jeff got a list.
Gotcha. The request is or is not substantial.
You'd have to say it is substantial based on the size of what's being requested, where it's located. So that criteria, I would say, it's.
Because it's still not, even from a front setback, though, it wouldn't be encroaching on that. Like, the overall setback from the road, it would still meet.
So the actual request in itself is what's substantial. You're saying you want to put a structure in the front, that just the nature of the request is substantial. My interpretation correct, or am I a little skew on this?
You could go either way on it. You could say, as I think you're saying, Paul, is that the request is substantial because they're proposing to put, I think, the majority or all of the structure in front of the front line of the house. There could be hypothetically a situation where they move the property, where you could have a garage that is maybe only a few a few feet ahead of the house, but this gets it's 100%. So it could be that way.
Yes, and again, that's one out of the 5 criteria. I'm just saying, if you go down this, it doesn't mean it's stable or not. It's just each
Yeah.
one has to be addressed individually.
So you're saying it's a combination of both size and.
And the request itself, for example, let's suppose they wanted 20.
Higher, it's 100% of it's forward.
Okay, so that's why I would say, yeah, that criteria would be substantial, but it's not fatal to the application, it's just that particular criteria.
Yeah, okay.
100%. Thank you. All right. The request will or will not have an undesirable change in the neighborhood.
I would say will not,
Say will not.
just based on other
There's
accessory
a lot of
structures.
non-conforming properties on that street.
And I'd also say I can see in the summer, it's pretty well hidden too, because there's a significant,
There is a lot of shading.
Yeah.
And screening as well.
the request will or will not have an adverse effect on the physical and or environmental conditions of the neighborhood or district. And because I would propose it matches other adjacent properties.
I would say also that suggest also that it's not, the existing wetland areas on the property are not impacted by its proposed
Fair.
location.
And the applicant has represented that architecturally it's gonna match the existing house. So it should plan.
The difficulty is or is not self-created. Because.
Would say it is.
And
Because
their desire
their
to
desire
to build and expand.
This is one of you set up for failure when you're an applicant, because unless you're, which is by virtue of the application itself created, so that's a tough one.
Okay.
Procedural question, David.
Yeah.
Is this I'm new.
Yep.
Is it a majority 3 out of 5 can carry it? It has to be 4 out of 5, is it?
Of these 5 factors?
Yes,
No, it's really a balancing test. So just for, as a baseline principle, these 5 factors, it's a balancing test. So you could hypothetically have a case where an applicant only met one of the 5 criteria, but
It
because,
offsets all the other.
right,
four.
because the strength of that one offsets everything else, then you could still grant one based on that. So it's not just, you have to meet 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 or whatever. You could have 2 out of 5 or whatever. So you always have to, as long as you go through every one of these factors and have a reasoned deliberation and justification for each one of them, then based on that, you go.
So this last factor, self-created, I let you explain it, I wanted to understand, it is self-created, but.
Unless you don't want to build your structures,
Exactly.
of course it's so creative.
And
That's the option.
many of them, and most of them are self-rated.
Yeah.
Yeah, the law is basically kind of said that even though this is one of the factors in the statutory authority, as you guys have all said, it's 90% of the time it's going to be self-created, but this is probably the weakest of all the factors just by inherently.
So really the application says it's not self-created.
Right.
There are no other alternatives, we make the determination, disagree. with
Yes, an applicant will often say it's not self-created, but that's a rare situation when it's not self-created.
Right. Thank you.
And I'll move on with the, and be further resolved that this approval, do you guys want to add conditions on that? The only one that I had in my head was to just reiterate the fixture, like the actual look and feel of the exterior, the aesthetics of it, yes. So that was the only one that I would put on there as a condition, is just to make sure that that matches, so. Anyone else have any other thoughts on conditions? All right, so following the discussion on this resolution, we'll do a roll call vote now. So all in favor of this resolution as just read, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that is carried. So,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
so work with Brooke to get the permit.
Send you
and-
over to approval. Okay. Great.
I do have a question that I might receive from Monroe County. Page letter. There were several items in the last visit that they did not refer them on. Is this our responsibility or are we done?
Nope, it just means it doesn't require permitting.
It doesn't,
It does not.
so we don't need to get a building permit.
Correct. Yep, just submit your building permit to the town amended building department. Yep.
All right, do we have any other public comment, anyone online? Any general discussion by anyone on the board or? David? Good, all right. Doesn't look like we have a March 26th meeting unless you have anything that, no pending, all right.
Pending? Nope.
Do we have a motion to close?
Motion closed.
Second that,
Second. Oh,
you got it.
all in favor to close? Aye.